Now that you have done simplifying ratios, let's look at other ratio questions. In this case, we're going to consider missing value. When we have a missing value ratio question, we also work with equivalent fractions, but instead of simplifying, we often make them bigger. In the example here below, it's a recipe for making a very easy pizza dough. So for this recipe, we need 2 cups of flour for 1 cup of yogurt. You will see that in the bottom example, I now have 4 cups of yogurt. So I want to know how many cups of flour do I need. So for the yogurt, I multiplied by 4. And therefore I also have to multiply the cups of flour by 4. That will give me 8 cups of flour. So in this case, we also have an equivalent ratio of 2 to 1, which is the same as 8 to 4, but there's only one value that is missing in this case. We can also apply the concept of missing value in ratios to speed, distance, and time problems. So if, for example, Jake runs the 5-kilometer park run in 20 minutes, and I want to know how far he runs in an hour, we can do it in the form of a ratio. But you will remember that we always need to keep the units the same. So start by making the hours into minutes as well. So 1 hour would be 60 minutes. Now, to go from 20 minutes to 60 minutes, it means I have to multiply by 3. And if I multiply by 3 on the left, it means that I also have to multiply by 3 on the right. So if Jake maintains the same speed for a full hour, he would cover 15 kilometers. And 15 kilometers an hour can also be written as 15 kilometers per hour. But what if the question is given in the form of a word sum? Now you will have to construct your own ratios. Let's consider the following example. The ratio of Ruth's age to her mother's age. So already we know that these are the two things that we are working with in this case. So we have Ruth and we have her mother, which is being compared. And you can even put the little ratio sign in there to remind yourself that Ruth's age is compared to her mother's age. So when the ratio is then given 3 to 10, we know that the first number represents Ruth's age and the second number represents her mother's age. So if we want to rewrite it, we can say Ruth versus mom, and that is 3 to 10. And now when we read the questions, we can use this ratio to answer it. So they say if Ruth's mother is 40, so this means in the mother section of the ratio, I have 40. And I want to know how old Ruth is. Just like in the previous questions, I have a look at what happened to the 10 to get it to 40, and that is 4 times bigger. So if her mother's age is 4 times bigger, it means that her age must also be 4 times bigger. And that will give me an age of 12 years. Also remember that when you work with a story sum like that, you always need to include units in your answer. Let's follow the same concept for the second question. So remember that we work with the same ratio of Ruth's age to her mom's age, which is 3 to 10. And in the second example, Ruth's age is given as being 15 years. So therefore, Ruth's age of 15 years goes under the 3, and we are looking for her mother's age. To go from 3 to 15, I multiplied by 5. And remember that what you do on the left-hand side, you also have to do on the right-hand side. So on the other side, I also multiply by 5, which means her mom is 50 years old, while Ruth is 15 years old.